By dawn tomorrow, 50,000 new realities will have crystallized. Most people will sleep through the upload. Will yours be one of them? All it takes is 2 words, but you've been trained to speak everything except them. Let me tell you about Sarah. 3 months ago, she was staring at an eviction notice, drowning in debt, convinced her life was over. Today, she owns her condo outright. No lottery win, no rich uncle, just 2 words whispered every night before sleep. 17 seconds changed everything. Tonight, I'm going to walk you through the exact midnight ritual that rewired her reality and thousands of others just like her. Stay to the end, and we'll do it together in real time. But here's the thing, miss it tonight, and you'll default to yesterday's software for another 24 hours. Your brain will run the same programs, attract the same circumstances, repeat the same patterns. The upload window closes at dawn. From the moment you entered school, you were programmed with a fundamental lie that your circumstances create your reality. Think about it. First grade, be realistic. High school, lower your expectations. College, face the facts. Every institution, every authority figure, every well-meaning adult in your life has been unconsciously installing the same software. You are at the mercy of external conditions. But here's what they never told you about your brain. Deep in your brainstem sits a cluster of neurons called the reticular activating system. Think of it as your reality's gatekeeper. Every second, 2 million bits of information flood your senses, but your conscious mind can only process about 40. The RAS decides which 40 make it through. And here's the kicker. It doesn't choose based on what's true. It chooses based on what you've told it matters. When you believe you're broke, your RAS filters out opportunities and highlights bills. When you believe you're unlucky in love, it skips over interested glances and magnifies rejections. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing your assumptions about reality. And those assumptions, they're running on autopilot, installed by people who inherited their own limiting programs. The neuroscience is clear. Your brain is constantly deleting, distorting, and generalizing information to match your internal map. Change the map, change the territory, but how? That's where a barefoot mystic from Barbados cracked the code nearly a century ago. Neville Goddard, 1905 to 1972. While the world was obsessed with positive thinking and vision boards, this Caribbean-born teacher was dropping truth bombs in packed lecture halls from New York to Los Angeles. No guru robes, no mystical nonsense, just a well-dressed man with a radical message. Assumption hardens into fact. His most famous demonstration? The Barbados story, 1943. Goddard was drafted into the U.S. Army, stationed in Louisiana. His family needed him back in Barbados. His father was ill. The military said impossible. No leave granted. So Goddard did what he taught. Every night he imagined himself already in Barbados, feeling the tropical breeze, hearing his family's voices, smelling the ocean salt. He didn't hope, he didn't wish. He assumed it as already done. 9 days later, his commanding officer, the same one who'd denied his request, called him in. "I don't know why I'm doing this," he said, "but here's your honorable discharge. You're free to go." No explanation, no precedent, just a complete reversal that defied military protocol. Today, Goddard's teachings are exploding across Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube. Not because they're New Age fluff, but because they work. Thousands are discovering what quantum physics now confirms. The observer collapses the wave function. Your assumption selects which possibility becomes your experience. Speaking of quantum physics, let's talk about the most mind-bending experiment in scientific history, the double-slit experiment. Fire electrons at a barrier with 2 openings, and something impossible happens. When no one's watching, the electron acts like a wave, passing through both slits simultaneously. But the moment you observe it, it chooses one slit, becoming a particle. The implications shattered everything we thought we knew. Reality isn't fixed until consciousness observes it. Before your attention lands, infinite possibilities exist in superposition. Your observation, your assumption, collapses those possibilities into the one you experience. But it gets wilder. Placebo surgeries. Patients with torn knee cartilage undergo fake operations. Just small incisions, no actual repair. Result, 78% report complete healing. Same recovery rates as real surgery. Their assumption of being healed literally regenerated tissue. The body rebuilt itself to match the mind's blueprint. Yet despite this evidence, 99% of people fail at manifestation. They read the books, say the affirmations, make the vision boards, and nothing changes. Why? 3 hidden blockers sabotage them before they even begin. First, identity lag. You can't manifest from a state you don't embody. Saying, "I am wealthy," while feeling poor, creates static. Your subconscious rejects the discord. Second, emotional debt, unprocessed trauma, resentment, and fear create energetic blocks. You're trying to upload new software while old viruses still run in the background. Third, ambient doubt. Even if you believe 90%, that 10% doubt acts like a parking brake. You're accelerating with one foot while the other hits the brakes. But here's the breakthrough. The 2 words I'm about to share bypass all 3 blockers. They work whether you believe them or not. They slip past your conscious resistance like a whisper in the night. Ready? The 2 words are, I am. That's it. I am. Not I will be. Not I want to be. I am. These aren't just words. They're the master key to reality's operating system. In Exodus 3:14, when Moses asks God for his name, the response is, I am that I am. Not was, not will be. I am present tense. Eternal now. Goddard recognized this as the creative principle itself. Every time you say I am, you're not describing reality, you're commanding it. You're issuing source code directly to the quantum field. Modern coaches charge thousands to teach variations of this principle, but the power has always been free. The catch? You've been using it backwards your whole life. I am broke. I am stuck. I am unlucky. Every casual self-definition programs your tomorrow. Let's understand why these 2 words carry such massive power. Linguistically, I am performs something called temporal collapse. Past and future dissolve into an eternal present. When you say, I am wealthy, you're not hoping for future wealth. You're claiming wealth exists now in the quantum field, waiting to precipitate into form. This isn't metaphysical poetry. It's physics. Everything vibrates. Atoms, molecules, thoughts, words. When you speak I am followed by a state, you're setting your entire energetic system to that frequency. Like a tuning fork that makes other tuning forks sing in harmony, your vibration attracts matching circumstances. Watch this. Strike a tuning fork calibrated to A440. Now bring it near another A440 fork. Without touching it, the second fork begins to vibrate, producing the same tone. That's sympathetic resonance. Your I am statement is the first fork. Reality is the second. Speak your frequency clearly enough, consistently enough, and physical reality must reorganize to match. But frequency alone isn't enough. You need the complete framework. 5 layers that transform whispered words into materialized reality. Layer 1, image. Your mental movie must be first person, present tense, sensory rich. Not watching yourself from outside, being inside the experience, see through your own eyes. What specific details would you notice if it were real right now? The weight of the Rolex on your wrist, the leather smell of your new car, the warmth of your soulmate's hand. Camera angles matter. Most people visualize from third person, like watching a movie of themselves. That creates separation. You must be in the scene. When Sarah visualized owning her condo, she didn't see herself holding keys. She felt the keys in her hand, heard them jingle, felt the metal weight. POV immersion is non-negotiable. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between vivid imagination and external reality. Give it first-person sensory data, and it accepts it as fact. This is why athletes who mentally rehearse improve almost as much as those who physically practice. Layer 2, emotion. Information without emotion is like a seed without water. It won't grow. You need body-felt certainty, not mental agreement. Your heart rate should shift. Your breathing should deepen. You should feel the relief, the gratitude, the quiet confidence of already having what you desire. Heart rate variability studies prove this. When you generate genuine positive emotion, your heart rhythm becomes coherent, a smooth, ordered wave pattern. This coherence broadcasts a clear signal to every cell in your body and radiates into the quantum field. Forced fake emotion creates chaotic patterns. Authentic feeling creates coherence. The emotion must match the wish fulfilled, not the wanting. Feel grateful, not needy. Feel satisfied, not hungry. Feel the calm confidence of completion, not the anxious energy of pursuit. This is where most fail. They activate the frequency of lack instead of fulfillment. Layer 3, word. Here's where it gets precise. Whisper, don't speak. Don't just think. Whisper. Why? Your conscious mind, the skeptic, the critic, the realist, monitors your regular speech, but whispers slip under its radar. Neuroscience shows whispered words bypass the critical factor and embed directly in the subconscious. It's like the difference between knocking on the front door versus slipping through an open window. The phrase structure matters. After I am, add a state, not a thing. Not I am a millionaire. That's too specific for the quantum field to arrange. Instead, I am wealth. I am abundance. Let the universe figure out the details. States are magnetic. Things are limiting. Layer 4, silence. After you whisper your I am statement, hold absolute silence for exactly 7 seconds. No thoughts, no analysis, just void. This isn't arbitrary. Your brain requires 6 to 8 seconds to transfer information from working memory to long-term storage. That silence is when neural pruning occurs. Old limiting pathways get trimmed while new empowering ones strengthen. It's like saving a file. Interrupt the process and nothing gets stored. In that silence, you might feel a shift, a settling, a clicking into place. That's your new assumption taking root. Don't analyze it. Just let it land. Layer 5, loop. One whisper won't override decades of programming. You need nightly compounding, the 1% better principle. Each repetition adds a layer of myelin to your new neural pathway, making it faster, stronger, more automatic. Imagine a graph where day 1 shows 1% improvement. Insignificant, but compound that 1% nightly, and by day 100, you're not 100% better, you're 270% transformed. By day 365, 3,778% evolution. That's not motivation math. That's how neural plasticity actually works. Consistency beats intensity. Whisper once nightly with full presence rather than repeat it 50 times mechanically. Quality of connection trumps quantity of repetition. Now, choosing your specific I am ending requires precision. After those 2 master words, you must add a state of being, not an object or outcome. This is crucial. The quantum field responds to frequencies, not shopping lists. I am wealth instead of I am rich. Wealth is a state that magnetizes money, opportunities, and resources. Rich is a comparison that implies others are poor. I am chosen instead of I am in a relationship. Chosen is a frequency of being selected, valued, cherished. It attracts aligned partners. Relationship is a structure that could manifest as dysfunction. I am vital instead of I am healthy. Vitality encompasses energy, strength, and life force. It's generative. Health often gets defined by the absence of disease. Take 5 minutes now. Pause this video if you need to. Write down your current primary challenge, then translate it into a state of being. Money problems, I am abundance. Loneliness, I am connected. Career stuck, I am expanding. Health issues, I am renewed. The state must feel slightly beyond your current reality, but not fantasy. If I am wealth feels too far from bankruptcy, start with I am provided for or I am resourceful. You can upgrade as you grow. Before we begin the ritual, let's prepare your nervous system. Blue light from screens tells your brain it's noon, blocking melatonin production. Either use blue light blocking glasses or switch all devices to night mode. Better yet, do this practice by candlelight. Next, reset your breathing. The 4-7-8 pattern shifts you into parasympathetic dominance, rest and digest mode. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. 3 rounds minimum. This drops your brain waves from beta to alpha, approaching theta, the state between waking and sleep, where the subconscious is most programmable. For maximum impact, play theta wave music, 4 to 7. Hertz binaural beats or 432 Hz frequency tracks work best. Your brain naturally synchronizes to external rhythms. Theta waves make your subconscious porous, ready to receive new programming. You can find free playlists. I'll link my favorites below. Now, the live whisper along. Get comfortable. Lights dimmed, phone silenced. In a moment, I'll count down from 10. When I reach 0, we'll whisper together. I'll say the words first, then leave 3 seconds of silence for you to echo. Ready? 10. Feel your body settling into position. 9. Release any tension in your shoulders. 8. Soften your jaw, your tongue. 7. Let your breathing naturally deepen. 6. Feel the quiet anticipation building. 5. You're about to reprogram reality. 4. Everything changes with 2 words. 3. Your new life begins now. 2. Take 1 more deep breath. 1. Here we go. 0. I am. Now add your chosen state. Whisper it softly. I am your state. I am your state. I am your state. Feel the truth of it in your bones, not hoping, knowing, not becoming, being. I am your state. I am your state. I am your state. Now the 7 seconds of silence. Hold the feeling. Let it crystallize. Starting now. 7-second pause. Beautiful. You've just installed new software. But installation isn't activation. You need the morning integration routine to bring it online. Upon waking tomorrow, and this is critical, feel gratitude before you reach for your phone. That first 60 seconds of consciousness sets your frequency for the entire day. If you immediately check messages, news, or social media, you're handing your vibration to external chaos. Instead, before your eyes even open, whisper again, I am your state. Feel appreciation that it's already done. Not gratitude for what you have. Gratitude for what's already yours in the quantum field, making its way into form. Then, grab a journal and write 1 paragraph as if you're texting a friend about your new reality. Not, I will have or I want. Write as if it already happened. You won't believe what just occurred. Remember when I was struggling with X? Well, now I'm experiencing Y, and it feels so natural, like it was always meant to be. This 2-minute scripting exercise locks in the state. Your reticular activating system starts hunting for evidence to support your new assumption. You've primed the pump. But what about during the day when old patterns resurface? You need the emergency re-trigger. In public, you can't always whisper aloud. Here's the stealth version. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, whisper internally, I am your state. Simultaneously, create an anchor gesture. Press your thumb and middle finger together, or touch 2 fingers to your pulse point on your wrist. This creates a somatic marker. After a week of practice, just the gesture alone will trigger the state. Use this whenever doubt creeps in. Standing in line at the bank, worried about bills, internal whisper plus anchor. Sitting in traffic feeling frustrated, internal whisper plus anchor. Before important calls, meetings, or dates, internal whisper plus anchor. Now let me share 3 rapid-fire case studies that prove this isn't just theory. Marcus, software engineer, stuck as an intern for 3 years despite his talent. Every company passed him over for promotion. Started whispering, I am valued nightly. No other changes to his routine. Within 2 months, he gets poached by a competitor. They create a new VP position just for him. 11 months from intern to vice president. His skills didn't change, his assumption did. Jennifer, diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Doctors said she'd need medication for life. She added, "I am renewed," to her bedtime routine while maintaining her treatment. 4 months later, her inflammation markers disappeared. Her rheumatologist ran the tests 3 times, convinced the lab made errors. 2 years later, still in complete remission. The whispers didn't cure her. They activated her body's dormant healing capacity. David and his brother hadn't spoken in 5 years after a business dispute, both too proud to reach out first. David started whispering, "I am connected," never mentioned his brother specifically. 10 days later, out of nowhere, he receives a text. "Been thinking about you. Want to grab coffee?" They reconciled that week. The quantum field doesn't need your strategy, just your frequency. Let me share something that will revolutionize how you understand this process. Most people think manifestation is about getting stuff, cars, houses, relationships, money. They're missing the real magic. This isn't about acquiring, it's about becoming. The stuff is just evidence of who you've become. Think about water. At 211 degrees Fahrenheit, you have very hot water. Add 1 more degree, 212, and it transforms into steam. That single degree changes everything. Same molecules, completely different state. That's what your nightly whisper does. It's adding that 1 degree that transforms your entire state of being. I learned this the hard way. For years, I chased external success, built businesses, made money, accumulated achievements. But inside, empty, anxious, always needing the next win to feel worthy. Then I discovered these 2 words, started whispering, "I am enough," every night. No vision board, no 10-step plan. Just those 3 words, "I am enough." Within weeks, everything shifted. Not my bank account, my being. For the first time in my life, I felt complete, whole. The constant anxiety evaporated. And here's the wild part. When I stopped needing success to feel worthy, success flowed effortlessly. 3 major deals I'd been forcing for months suddenly closed themselves. My relationship transformed, my health improved, all because I changed my core frequency from "I am lacking" to "I am enough." This brings us to a crucial distinction most teachers miss. There are 2 types of manifestation, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal manifestation is rearranging circumstances at your current level of consciousness. New job at the same stress level, new relationship with the same patterns, new money with the same scarcity mindset. It's like redecorating a prison cell. Vertical manifestation is ascending to a new level of consciousness where your desires naturally exist. You don't get wealth, you become it. You don't find love, you embody it. You don't achieve success, you radiate it. The I am practice is purely vertical. You're not manipulating reality. You're upgrading your operating system. Here's a mind-bending truth. Your desires aren't yours. They're breadcrumbs from your higher self, showing you who you're meant to become. That burning desire for financial freedom, it's not about money. It's your soul calling you to embody abundance. That yearning for a soulmate, it's not about another person. It's your essence inviting you to become love itself. When you whisper, "I am wealthy," you're not trying to attract money. You're accepting your true nature as an abundant being. The money follows automatically, like a shadow follows form. This is why people who win lotteries often lose everything. They receive money without becoming wealth. The external shifted without the internal upgrade. Let's go deeper into the quantum mechanics. Everything in the universe exists in 2 states simultaneously, wave and particle. Wave is pure potential, all possibilities existing at once. Particle is collapsed potential, one possibility made manifest. Your consciousness is the observer that collapses waves into particles. But here's what they don't teach in physics class. Your baseline state of consciousness determines which waves you can even perceive, let alone collapse. If you're vibrating at scarcity, abundance waves are invisible to you. They exist, but you can't access them. It's like trying to tune into FM radio with an AM receiver. The I am practice upgrades your receiver. Each whisper recalibrates your frequency range. Suddenly, you can perceive possibilities that were always there, but previously invisible. Opportunities that walked past you daily now wave flags. People who could help were always around. Now you recognize them. This explains why change often happens through coincidence and synchronicity. You didn't create new circumstances. You became capable of perceiving existing ones. The universe didn't rearrange itself for you. You rearranged yourself to match what was always available. Now let's address the elephant in the room: time. How long does this take? Everyone wants the Amazon Prime version of consciousness, overnight delivery of a new reality. But consciousness doesn't work on human timelines. It works on readiness. Some people whisper for 3 days and their entire life transforms. Others practice for 3 months before seeing shifts. The difference? Resistance. The more desperately you need change, the more resistance you create. Desperation is a frequency of lack. You're simultaneously calling and repelling. The sweet spot is what I call relaxed expectancy. You know it's coming like you know the sun rises tomorrow. No anxiety, no checking every 5 minutes, just calm certainty. This state allows the fastest manifestation because you're not creating static with neediness. Here's a practical way to cultivate relaxed expectancy. After your nightly whisper, imagine yourself a year from now looking back at tonight. From that future perspective, tonight is when everything changed. But it feels natural, inevitable, like of course it worked. This temporal shift removes pressure and creates a sense of completion. Let me tell you about the shadow side nobody discusses. When you start upgrading your consciousness, your old identity fights back. It's called an extinction burst, like a candle flaring before it dies. Expect things to get temporarily worse before they get better. You whisper, "I am wealthy," and suddenly unexpected bills arrive. You claim, "I am loved," and relationships get rocky. You declare, "I am healthy," and symptoms flare. This isn't failure. It's your old programming making a last stand. It's actually a sign the practice is working. Your system is purging outdated patterns to make room for the new. Most people quit during the extinction burst. They think it's not working when actually they're on the verge of breakthrough. It's like renovating a house. You have to tear down old walls before building new ones. The mess is part of the process. The key is to whisper through the chaos. When external reality screams the opposite of your assumption, that's when whispering matters most. You're not denying current circumstances. You're claiming your immunity to them. You're declaring that your state of being isn't dependent on conditions. This is mastery, maintaining your assumed state regardless of appearances. Goddard called it living in the end. You embody your wish fulfilled so completely that contrary evidence becomes irrelevant, like an actor who stays in character even when the lights malfunction. Speaking of acting, let's explore the performance aspect. Every night when you whisper, you're not pretending, you're rehearsing. Athletes visualize perfect performance. Musicians hear the music before playing it. You're doing the same with consciousness. The whisper is your rehearsal for being. But unlike stage acting, this performance becomes permanent. Method actors sometimes struggle to leave their characters. With I am practice, that's the point. You method act your new identity until it's no longer acting. The mask becomes your face, the performance becomes your personality. This is why consistency matters more than perfection. One perfect whisper means nothing if you spend the other 23 hours and 59 minutes reinforcing old patterns. But consistent imperfect whispers compound into transformation. Better to mumble nightly than to proclaim perfectly once a month. Let's get practical about common challenges. First, the wandering mind. You start whispering and suddenly remember emails, groceries, that awkward conversation from 2015. Normal. Your ego uses distraction as defense. Don't fight thoughts. Let them pass like clouds. Return to your whisper without judgment. Second, emotional numbness. Some nights you feel nothing. The words seem hollow. Perfect. Whisper anyway. You're installing new programming whether you feel it or not. Feeling follows function. The emotion will come after the neural pathways strengthen. Third, impatience. You've whispered for 2 weeks. Where's your mansion? This urgency is exactly what blocks manifestation. You're trying to microwave a souffle. Some transformations need slow cooking. Trust the process. Your only job is tonight's whisper. Fourth, comparison. You read success stories online. Someone manifested their soulmate in 3 days. Another became a millionaire in a month. Their timeline isn't yours. Their resistance isn't yours. Their path isn't yours. Compare yourself only to yesterday's you. Now for advanced techniques. Once basic whispering feels natural, add layers. Whisper with your hand on your heart. This creates coherence between mind and cardiac nervous system. Studies show the heart has its own neural network. Engaging it amplifies manifestation. Try whispering in rhythm with your heartbeat. This synchronizes your declaration with your life force. Each beat carries your new identity deeper into cellular memory. You're literally programming your assumption into your pulse. Another advanced technique, whisper to water. Dr. Masaru Emoto proved water molecules restructure based on words and intentions. Your body is 60% water. Whisper to a glass of water, then drink it. You're consuming your assumption, making it part of your physical structure. Some practitioners whisper to mirrors. Looking into your own eyes while declaring I am creates a powerful feedback loop. You're simultaneously broadcaster and receiver. This can feel intense. You're confronting every limiting belief directly. Start with just 3 whispers to your reflection, building tolerance gradually. For the scientifically minded, let's discuss brain states. Your brain operates at different frequencies throughout the day. Beta, 14 to 30 hertz, is your normal waking state. Analytical, critical, resistant to new programming. Alpha, 8 to 14 hertz, is relaxed awareness. Theta, 4 to 8 hertz, is the threshold between waking and sleep. Delta, 0.5 to 4 hertz, is deep sleep. The sweet spot for I am practice is theta. That's why bedtime works. You naturally pass through theta entering sleep. In this state, your critical factor goes offline. Your subconscious becomes a sponge. Every whisper drops directly into your operating system without conscious interference. You can enhance theta access through breathing. The 4-7-8 pattern I mentioned earlier works. So does box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. 3 rounds minimum before whispering. This mechanically shifts your brainwaves toward theta. Binaural beats accelerate the process. When your left ear hears one frequency and your right ear hears another, your brain creates a third frequency, the difference between them. Feed it the right differential, and you can dial in exact brainwave states. Free apps provide theta-inducing beats, but technology is optional. Humans access theta for millennia without apps. The transition state between waking and sleeping is universal. Every night, you have a direct portal to your subconscious. The I am practice simply leverages this natural gateway. Let's address a controversial topic, collective consciousness. Your individual practice affects the whole. When you upgrade your frequency, you create a ripple. Your family feels it first, then friends, then strangers you pass on the street. You become a tuning fork, inviting others to resonate higher. This isn't metaphorical. The HeartMath Institute documented that one person in heart coherence can entrain an entire room. Your electromagnetic field extends 3 to 4 feet beyond your body. When you embody I am peace, you literally broadcast peace to everyone nearby. This is why some practitioners experience relationship changes without targeting them. You whisper, I am worthy for yourself, and suddenly toxic people exit your life while aligned souls appear. You didn't manifest new people. You became visible to your tribe. The collective impact compounds. When thousands whisper, I am abundant nightly, it creates a morphic field, a template in consciousness that makes abundance easier for everyone to access. You're not just transforming yourself, you're contributing to humanity's evolution. But let's stay grounded. This isn't about saving the world. It's about saving yourself first. Airlines tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. Same principle. Upgrade your own consciousness, then let the overflow serve others naturally. This brings up boundaries. As you transform, some people won't celebrate. They prefer the old you, the one who validated their limitations. Your growth threatens their stagnation. They'll test you, trigger you, try to pull you back to familiar frequency. Don't take it personally. Crabs in a bucket pull down any crab attempting escape. It's not malice, it's fear. Your ascension reminds them of their own unused potential. Love them, but don't let them derail you. Your whisper is your boundary. Your assumed state is your protection. Sometimes the resistance comes from within. Your own mind manufactures reasons to quit. This is silly. It's not working. I'm too damaged. It's too simple. Recognize these as extinction burst symptoms. Thank your ego for trying to protect you, then whisper anyway. The protection is misguided. Your ego thinks familiar pain is safer than unknown joy. It's wrong, but arguing with it is futile. Instead, make friends with resistance. Thanks for the concern, but I'm whispering anyway. Gentle persistence dissolves the hardest resistance. Let's talk about faith versus knowing. Faith believes without evidence. Knowing requires no belief because truth is self-evident. The I am practice moves you from faith to knowing. First you hope it works, then you believe it might. Finally, you know it must, because you've become it. This transition happens in stages. First, small synchronicities. A parking spot appears, a friend texts at the perfect moment. Random solutions arise. These aren't manifestations, they're confirmations. The universe winking, saying, yes, you're tuning in correctly. Next come bigger shifts. Opportunities multiply. Resources appear. Relationships align. Your external world reorganizes to match your internal upgrade. This feels miraculous at first. Eventually it becomes normal. Of course, reality reflects your state. How could it not? Finally, instantaneous manifestation. You assume a state and reality snaps to match within hours or days. This isn't fantasy. It's documented by thousands of practitioners. But it requires complete embodiment. No split energy, no hidden doubt, pure assumption. Most people never reach instantaneous manifestation because they're trying to get there. The trying itself creates resistance. It's like trying to fall asleep. The effort prevents the outcome. Mastery happens when you stop needing mastery and simply enjoy being. This paradox runs throughout consciousness work. The more you need results, the more you repel them. The less you need them, the faster they come. It's not cruel cosmic joke, it's physics. Need creates a vacuum that pushes away. Wholeness creates a magnet that attracts. So how do you need nothing while living in lack? You don't. You acknowledge current conditions while knowing they're temporary, like weather. Rain doesn't mean the sun disappeared. It's just temporarily obscured. Your assumed state is the sun. Current conditions are passing clouds. This perspective shift changes everything. Problems become puzzles. Obstacles become opportunities. Lack becomes a launch pad. You're not victim to circumstances. You're an artist using contrast to create. Every challenge is raw material for transformation. Let me share the practice that accelerated my results exponentially. Morning amplification. The standard practice is nightly whispering. Powerful, but adding morning amplification doubles your progress. Here's how. Wake up. Before moving, while still in theta, whisper your statement 3 times. Then get up and act from that state all day. If you claimed I am wealthy, make decisions from wealth. Not spending recklessly. That's scarcity disguised, but choosing from abundance rather than fear. Example, you need groceries. Scarcity shops with coupons, anxiety, and compromise. Abundance shops with ease, trusting perfect provision. Same budget, completely different energy. You might spend the same amount, but you're practicing wealth consciousness. This extends to every choice. How would wealthy you answer emails, take calls, dress? Not fake external displays, internal state. Wealthy consciousness might wear simple clothes, but emanates richness. It's about being, not seeming. Evening reflection completes the circuit. Before bed, review your day through your assumed state's lens. Where did you embody it? Where did you slip? No judgment, just observation. Then whisper again, sealing the day's practice. You're building momentum. This 3-part rhythm, morning whisper, daily embodiment, evening integration, accelerates transformation. You're not just programming at night. You're living your assumption all day. Reality has no choice but to conform. But what about when reality seems to mock your assumption? You whisper, I am loved, then get rejected. Claim, I am healthy, then catch a cold. Declare, I am successful, then lose a client. These aren't failures, they're tests. Reality tests every new state before accepting it, like a bouncer checking ID. Are you really who you claim to be? Or will you crumble at first challenge? Your response determines whether you pass. The master's response, interesting. Reality hasn't caught up yet. I'll keep whispering. No drama, no doubt, no desperation, just calm persistence, like planting seeds. You don't dig them up daily to check progress. You water and wait. This brings us to timing, the great mystery. Why do some manifestations happen instantly while others take months? Multiple factors: belief depth, resistance levels, collective agreements, divine timing, but mainly identity integration. Quick manifestations usually involve surface changes, parking spots, unexpected money, chance encounters. These require minimal identity shift. Deep manifestations, life purpose, soulmates, massive wealth require becoming someone new. That takes time. Think of it like learning a language. You can memorize where's the bathroom quickly, but fluency? That requires rewiring your brain. Same with consciousness. Small assumptions integrate fast. Core identity shifts need repetition. The beauty is, you don't need to understand the timing. Your job is simple. Whisper tonight, then tomorrow night, then the next. One day, you'll realize you're living your assumption. When did it happen? Who cares? You're here now. This moment, reading these words, is part of your manifestation. You attracted this information because you're ready. Your higher self orchestrated this encounter. The breadcrumbs led here. What will you do with this gift? Most will read, nod, and forget. They'll promise to start tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes never. They'll stay stuck, wondering why others transform while they stagnate. Don't be most people. Tonight is your portal. Not tomorrow, tonight. Set your phone reminder now. Choose your I am statement. Prepare your space. When bedtime comes, you'll be ready. No excuses, no delays, no negotiations. The universe rewards decisive action. Hesitation broadcasts doubt. Decision broadcasts faith. Even imperfect action beats perfect procrastination. Whisper badly tonight rather than perfectly next month. Here's what nobody tells you. The first whisper is the hardest. Not because it's difficult, because it's simple. Your mind expects complexity. Surely transformation requires more than 2 words. That doubt is exactly why it works. Complexity is ego's playground. The mind loves elaborate systems because they provide endless excuses for delay. I need the right crystals. Mercury's in retrograde. I haven't found the perfect affirmation. Meanwhile, life passes. Simplicity bypasses ego. 2 words, 1 whisper. No excuses, no delays, no complications. Just you, claiming your true nature in the quantum field. Everything else is noise. Let me address the final fear. What if I choose wrong? Impossible. Any state you claim from love expands you. I am peaceful doesn't prevent success. I am wealthy doesn't destroy spirituality. States complement, not compete. You can layer states as you evolve. Start with what calls strongest. After it integrates, add another. I am wealthy and peaceful. I am loved and creative. Build your identity like a symphony. Each state a new instrument. Some practitioners create I am pyramids. Foundation state first. Often, I am enough or I am worthy. Then complementary states above. Peak state crowns it, your ultimate expression. The structure supports exponential growth. But structures are optional. Some thrive with 1 state for years. Others rotate monthly. Trust your instinct. The practice adapts to you, not vice versa. There's no perfect way, only your way. This personalization extends to everything. Whisper in your native language if English isn't primary. Use sign language if deaf. Think it clearly if mute. The universe reads frequency, not phonetics. Your intention matters more than pronunciation. Cultural adaptation matters too. Some backgrounds resist I am as boastful. Reframe it. You're not bragging, but acknowledging divine design. You're accepting gifts already given. Humility receives. Arrogance rejects. Religious compatibility is common concern. I am appears in every major tradition. Christianity, I am the way. Hinduism, Aham Brahmasmi, I am divine. Islam, the 99 names of Allah include I am. Buddhism, recognizing Buddha nature within. You're not replacing spiritual practice, but deepening it. Whispering I am aligns you with creative force, regardless what name you use. God, universe, source, Allah, Brahman. The practice transcends dogma. Let me share one final story, the most powerful I've witnessed. Maria, single mother, 3 kids, 2 jobs, endless bills, exhausted, defeated, ready to give up. Someone shared this practice. She almost laughed. Too simple for her complex problems. But desperation made her try. Every night between jobs, she'd sit in her car and whisper, I am provided for. Tears streaming, kids sleeping in backseat, 5 minutes of whispering before driving home. Week 1, nothing. Week 2, small shift, unexpected refund check. Week 3, job interview appears. Week 4, hired at double her previous salary. Week 8, ex-husband starts paying child support. Week 12, inherits aunt's house. Today, Maria teaches this practice to other single mothers. Her whisper created ripples that became waves. She didn't just transform her reality, she became a transformer of realities. From surviving to thriving to serving. That's the ultimate destination. Not getting stuff, but becoming someone who naturally has stuff. Not achieving success, but embodying it so fully that you lift others. Not finding love, but becoming it so completely that you heal hearts. Your whisper tonight joins millions throughout history who discovered this secret. From ancient mystics to quantum physicists, from Goddard to Maria, all started with the same 2 words, all transformed through simple repetition. You stand at the threshold. Behind you, every limiting belief, failed attempt, and reinforced pattern. Before you, infinite possibility, unlimited potential, and radical transformation. The bridge between them, 2 words, 1 whisper. Tonight. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop gathering more information. Stop planning to start. Everything you need, you have. Everyone who succeeded started where you stand. The only difference, they whispered instead of wondered. Your new life isn't coming, it's calling. Can you hear it? It sounds like your own voice, speaking truth you've always known but never claimed. It's time to answer, time to whisper, time to become. Set down the old story, pick up the pen. Write new chapters with your whisper. Author reality with assumption. Create worlds with consciousness. All starting tonight, all starting now. The clock ticks toward bedtime. Your appointment with transformation approaches. Will you keep it? Will you whisper? Will you persist when doubt whispers back? Will you become who you've always been? Only you can answer. Only you can whisper. Only you can transform. The universe holds its breath, waiting. Reality stands ready to reorganize. All systems prepared for upgrade. Initiation begins with your whisper. I am, you are, we are. Ready? Tonight, everything changes if you whisper. But what about the objections? Let's bust 3 persistent myths. Isn't this just toxic positivity? Number, toxic positivity denies current reality and suppresses valid emotions. This practice acknowledges where you are while choosing where you're going. You're not pretending problems don't exist. You're assuming solutions do. Big difference. What if it doesn't feel real? Perfect. It shouldn't feel real at first. If it felt real, you'd already have it. The gap between current reality and assumed reality is where transformation happens. You're stretching into a new shape. Discomfort means growth. Keep whispering through the awkwardness. Research shows it takes 66 days average for a new neural pathway to feel natural. Can I combine this with prayer or meditation? Absolutely. This isn't competing with your spiritual practice. It's amplifying it. Prayer is talking to the divine. Meditation is listening. I am statements are co-creating. Use all 3. Many practitioners whisper their statements after prayer or before meditation when they're already in a receptive state. In fact, let me share how different spiritual traditions have been using variations of this practice for thousands of years without calling it manifestation. The Sufi mystics have their dhikr, remembrance of divine names. They'll repeat, "I am the beloved," until the boundary between self and divine dissolves. Hindu yogis practice mantra japa, where Soham, I am that, is synchronized with breath for hours. Jewish Kabbalists work with the Tetragrammaton, the unspeakable name of God that translates to I am becoming. They all discovered the same truth. Identity declaration is the fastest path to transformation. Whether you call it God, universe, or quantum field, you're working with the same creative principle. The I am practice simply strips away cultural packaging to reveal the universal core. Here's a powerful integration technique. After your regular prayer, sit in the afterglow of connection, that sacred space where you feel heard, held, loved. From that state, whisper your I am statement. You're not asking for something. You're accepting what prayer has already confirmed as yours. Prayer opens the door. I am walks through it. For meditators, try this. Meditate first to clear mental chatter. Reach that space of pure awareness. Then, from the silence, let your I am statement arise like a bubble from still water. Don't force it. Let it emerge naturally. Whisper it once, then return to silence. The statement plants itself in fertile consciousness. Some practitioners create what I call a consciousness sandwich. Prayer first, connecting to source. I am, whisper in the middle, claiming your divine inheritance. Meditation last, allowing integration. This 15-minute practice can replace hours of separate techniques. But here's what's crucial. Don't turn this into another rigid spiritual routine. The moment it becomes obligation instead of opportunity, you've lost the magic. Some nights, just whisper and sleep. Other nights, create elaborate rituals. Follow your inner guidance, not external rules. This flexibility is what makes I am practice sustainable. You can't fail at it. Whispered perfectly, success. Mumbled half asleep, success. Forgotten remembered at 3 a.m., success. The universe responds to sincerity, not perfection. Every whisper counts regardless of form. Let's address the relationship between I am practice and religious texts. The Bible contains over 300 I am statements. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection. These weren't metaphors, they were identity declarations demonstrating the practice. The Bhagavad Gita is essentially an I am manual. Krishna reveals divine identity through progressive statements. I am the taste in water. I am the light in the moon. I am the syllable Om. Each declaration expands consciousness to encompass more of reality. The Tao Te Ching begins. The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. Why? Because the eternal Tao is the I am before qualifiers. Pure being, pure potential. The moment you add descriptors, you've stepped into manifestation. This is the creative process itself. Even atheists can use this practice. Replace divine with potential. You're not connecting to external deity, but to infinite possibility within consciousness. Quantum physics supports this. Observation creates reality. I am is simply conscious observation of self. This universality is why the practice spreads across all demographics. Teenagers use it for confidence, CEOs for decision-making, artists for creativity, athletes for performance. The application is infinitely customizable because consciousness itself is infinitely creative. Speaking of creativity, let's explore how I am practice enhances artistic expression. When you whisper, I am creative, you're not hoping for inspiration. You're identifying as creativity itself. The difference is profound. Hoping creates distance. Identifying creates fusion. Watch what happens to artists who practice this. Writer's block dissolves because you're not trying to get ideas. You are the source of ideas. Painters find their unique style because they're not copying others. They're expressing their essence. Musicians compose from soul rather than formula. The practice works for any creative endeavor. I am innovative for inventors. I am insightful for researchers. I am eloquent for speakers. You're not developing skills. You're revealing capacities that were always there, waiting for recognition. This extends to problem solving. Instead of, how do I fix this? Try, I am the solution, not arrogance, acknowledgement. The part of you that recognizes a problem already contains its resolution. The I am practice connects you to that knowing. I've seen engineers whisper, I am clarity, and suddenly see elegant solutions to complex problems. Doctors claim, I am healing, and intuit exactly what patients need. Parents declare, I am wisdom, and know precisely how to guide their children. The answer exists. The practice creates access. But let's be honest about the dark night of the soul that sometimes comes. You're whispering, I am abundant, but bills keep mounting, claiming I am loved while sleeping alone, declaring I am healthy through chronic pain. The gap between assertion and appearance can feel like mockery. This is the crucible, the sacred testing ground. Every master faced it. Jesus in the garden, Buddha under the Bodhi tree, Muhammad in the cave. The moment when everything screams, lie, but you whisper truth anyway. This is where transformation crystallizes. The dark night isn't punishment, it's purification. Old identity must die for new identity to birth. The pain isn't from the practice, it's from resistance to release, like a snake shedding skin. Uncomfortable, but necessary. The new you can't emerge until the old you lets go. If you're in this phase, double down. Whisper through tears, declare through doubt, claim through chaos. This isn't spiritual bypassing, it's spiritual claiming. You're not denying pain, you're declaring it doesn't define you. Huge difference. Here's a technique for the tough times, the despite declaration. Despite appearances, I am wealthy. Despite symptoms, I am healthy. Despite loneliness, I am loved. You acknowledge current reality while claiming deeper truth. This honesty creates a bridge between where you are and where you're going. Another powerful approach, micro whispers. When the full statement feels too far, shrink it. Instead of I am wealthy, try I am open to wealth. Instead of I am loved, try I am lovable. Meet yourself where you are, then expand gradually. No shame in starting small. Some find relief in past tense bridging. I am remembering wealth. I am returning to health. I am recognizing love. This frames your desired state as recovery, not acquisition. You're not becoming something new. You're remembering something forgotten. Often feels more believable. The key through dark nights, keep whispering, even if you feel nothing, especially if you feel nothing. The practice works below conscious awareness, like medicine digesting while you sleep. Trust the process, especially when you can't track progress. This brings us to the plateau phenomenon. You whisper diligently for weeks. Initial results were dramatic. Then, nothing. Progress stalls. Enthusiasm wanes. You wonder if you've peaked, if the magic wore off. If you're doing something wrong, you're not. You've hit integration phase, like learning to drive. First, every action requires conscious thought. Eventually, you drive automatically. The skill integrated. Same with consciousness. What felt miraculous becomes natural. The plateau means you've stabilized at new level. During plateaus, resist the urge to change everything. Don't add 20 new affirmations. Don't switch techniques. Don't panic. Instead, appreciate. You've successfully upgraded your baseline. What seemed impossible months ago now feels normal. That's massive victory. From plateau, you have two options. Coast at current level, nothing wrong with that. Or prepare for next leap. If you choose growth, add one small element. Maybe whisper with hand on heart. Maybe add gratitude before statement. Maybe extend to morning practice. Small addition, big impact. The master key through all phases, beginning, breakthrough, dark night, plateau, is self-compassion. You're rewiring decades of conditioning, installing new operating system while running the old one, performing consciousness surgery on yourself. Of course, it's challenging. Be gentle with yourself like you would with beloved child learning to walk. Celebrate every step. Comfort every fall. Trust the process. The child doesn't need criticism to learn walking. Neither do you. Encouragement accelerates everything. This is why community helps. Find others practicing. Share experiences. Celebrate wins. Support through challenges. The journey feels less lonely when you see others navigating same territory. Online groups, local meetups, practice partners, connection amplifies transformation. But choose community wisely. Avoid groups focused on lack, complaint, or comparison. Seek those celebrating progress, sharing insights, lifting each other. You become like those you surround yourself with. Choose high-frequency connections. If no community exists, create one. Start simple. Share your practice with one friend. Practice together weekly. Build from there. You don't need hundreds. Even two people whispering together creates powerful field. Jesus said, "Where two or more gather, there I am." The I am amplifies in collective. As we near the end of this transmission, let me leave you with the ultimate secret. Everything I've shared, every technique, every insight, every story points to one truth. You already are what you seek. The practice doesn't create, it reveals. You're not becoming, you're remembering. The whisper is just permission slip. Permission to be who you've always been, beneath the stories, wounds, and conditioning. Permission to claim your birthright. Permission to step into truth. The universe has been waiting for you to give yourself this permission. So tonight, when you whisper, know this, you're not asking, begging, or hoping. You're accepting, claiming, and remembering. You're saying yes to what's always been yes. You're aligning with truth so fundamental that reality must reorganize to match. Your whisper joins the chorus of every being who ever remembered their true nature, from ancient masters to future practitioners, all connected through the same two words, all transformed through the same simple practice, all proving the same eternal truth. You are what you seek. You have what you need. You know what you must do. Whisper tonight, whisper tomorrow, whisper until whisper becomes raw, until assumption becomes identity, until practice becomes presence. The universe conspires to support your remembering. Reality yearns to reflect your truth. All of existence celebrates your claiming. Welcome home to who you've always been. I am, you are, we are ready. Quick fire round on common questions. Does timing matter across time zones? Your bedtime is perfect regardless of location. The transition between waking and sleep is what matters, not the clock. When should I switch to a new state? When your current statement feels natural, like describing yourself accurately, usually 30 to 90 days. Then layer in the next evolution. What if I miss a night? Don't compound it with guilt. Just resume. Consistency beats perfection. Think 80-20 rule. 80% consistency yields 100% results over time. Here's my 72-hour challenge for you. For the next 3 nights, whisper your chosen I am statement using the 5-layer framework. Keep a simple journal, just one line each morning about any shifts you notice. Could be internal, feeling lighter, clearer, more confident. Could be external, unexpected text, random opportunity, surprising solution. Then come back and comment below. Share what you chose and what shifted. Not for me, for the thousands who'll read your story and finally believe it's possible for them too. Imagine telling your 3-day from now self, I did it. I stopped talking about change and started whispering it into existence. Everything is different now. If tonight's practice rewires even one thread of your reality, next week's video will show you how to redraw the entire tapestry. I'll reveal the master code that accelerates results from months to moments. But only if you've laid this foundation first. Hit subscribe now, not tomorrow, now, while you're still feeling the possibility, while the old patterns are loosened, while your quantum field is receptive. The notification bell is your accountability partner. When you see next week's video pop up, you'll know it's time to level up again. Each episode builds on the last. Miss one, and you're trying to build floor 3 without floor 2. This isn't just another manifestation channel. This is reality rewriting in real time. You're not watching content. You're installing upgrades. Welcome to the revolution. Your new life begins with tonight's whisper. Set your alarm. Prepare your space. Choose your words. By dawn tomorrow, 50,000 new realities will have crystallized. Make sure yours is one of them. I am. You are. We are. Rewriting reality in 3, 2 dots, 1 dot, dot, dot.